Have you ever considered what it means to have a fulfilling life after turning 70? In this video, I'll explain the 11 most powerful things I let go of to turn my journey into one of serenity, joy, and renewed purpose. Whether you're nearing or have already reached this milestone, these insights can help you reframe your life, let go of what no longer serves you, and focus on what really matters. Stay with me until the end to learn practical methods that can inspire your transformation and lead you to a more meaningful and enjoyable chapter in your life. If you haven't already subscribed, I recommend turning on the notification bell to avoid missing any movies. Your support is much appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it to help me continue spreading useful information. 11 things I let go of after turning 70. Turning 70 was more than just another birthday. It was a watershed moment in my life, prompting me to reflect profoundly on my journey and what is actually important going forward. As I began this new chapter, I realized that life was more than just aging. It was a magnificent transition. It was time to let go of old behaviors, habits, and mindsets that were no longer serving me. Things I'd held on to for far too long. In letting go, I discovered something truly valuable: peace, joy, and a strong sense of purpose. This was not a simple process. I had spent decades feeling that certain characteristics were crucial to my identity. But when I entered this new stage of life, I realized how much baggage I had been carrying, an unnecessary weight that hampered my enjoyment and limited my mobility. So I took the conscious decision to let go of what was preventing me from living the life I had always desired but was too terrified to claim. The outcome was nothing short of extraordinary. My heart felt lighter, my days brighter, and my purpose became clearer than ever before. Letting go did not imply giving up or accepting my fate in old age. It was about eliminating the layers that kept me from truly living. I no longer wanted to be bound by obsolete beliefs, the fear of being judged, or the continual pressure to meet others' expectations. I learned that true freedom comes when we let go of the past and embrace the limitless possibilities of the future, regardless of our age. For me, turning 70 was a turning point in finding the essence of who I am, a person deserving of joy, peace, and fulfillment. It was about deciding what was important and then letting go of everything else. What I discovered in exchange was the wonderful gift of living truthfully with more gratitude and purpose than I ever imagined imaginable. And this journey of letting go was more than just a way to organize my life. It was a profound reclaiming of my spirit. It enabled me to enjoy the richness of each day, free of the burdens that had dragged me down. I let go, and as a result, I discovered a life full of more serenity, joy, and love than I could have ever dreamed. 1. Let go of working just to be busy. In my youth, I was engaged in a continuous cycle of busyness, constantly attempting to rise higher, achieve more, and secure my place in the world. Working nonstop, juggling tasks, and being continuously on the move were essential to success. It felt like if I wasn't busy, I'd fall behind. The corporate grind became my norm, and I determined my worth based on how much I accomplished. But as I approached 70, something inside me changed. I realized that all the hustle, all the late nights and endless tasks had sapped my vitality, joy, and connection to the things that genuinely mattered. If you're still watching this video and finding the teachings beneficial, Please leave a one comment below to let me know you're still with me. The truth hit me hard. I wasn't alive. I'd been working out of habit, not out of enthusiasm or purpose. That realization altered everything. I started asking myself, why am I doing this? What is the real reason for my constant busyness? If a project or assignment did not match my basic principles or help me achieve my personal goals, I determined it was time to let it go. I gave myself permission to step back. It felt so liberated, like I dropped a weight I hadn't realized I'd been carrying for decades. Letting rid of the urge to be constantly occupied allowed me to find the delight of living in the moment. I no longer associate busyness with achievement. Instead, I discovered that true wealth is found in the time I spend with the people I care about, in the pursuit of activities that offer me genuine joy, and in the often overlooked quiet times of thought and rest. Every day feels more intentional and more grounded in what is important to me. Have you ever felt like you're just working out of habit, constantly pursuing the next thing without knowing why? What would it feel like to take a step back and let go of the incessant desire to be productive? Imagine a life in which you exclusively work on things that make you happy or serve a higher purpose. Would you be more fulfilled? For me, the answer was an unequivocal yes. By letting go of excessive busyness, I've paved the way for a more balanced, serene, and purposeful life. One in which I finally feel free. 2. Quit mindless spending. For many years, I was locked in a loop of thoughtless spending, unaware of its impact on my life. Everywhere I looked, I saw messages encouraging me to buy more, have more, and amass goods that promised happiness and fulfillment. I fell for it. I loaded my home with electronics, clothes, and trinkets that I thought would make me happy. But the happiness these goods provided was transient, fading as swiftly as it arrived. And what did they leave behind? A house full of junk and a gnawing emptiness that no amount of money could ever fill. As I have aged, I've realized that material items rarely bring long-term joy. None of the items I acquired with the intention of feeling fulfilled really mattered. I realized that the true riches in life are not in possessions, but in experiences, relationships, and moments that nourish my spirit. So I made the intentional decision to stop thoughtless spending and begin spending with intention. Now I only buy items that truly add value to my life, whether it's a life-changing experience, like traveling to a new location, or something as simple as a book that broadens my perspective. This change has been transformational. It's not just about saving money, though that has been a great perk. It's about moving my focus away from materialism and towards the things that actually make me happy. I no longer feel compelled to purchase impulsively, filling an emotional emptiness with stuff I don't need. Instead, I value the simplicity of life, the beauty in what I already have, and the deep sense of contentment that comes from focusing on the non-material components of life that are important. Have you ever bought something on impulse and then regretted it? Consider how much lighter and freer you would feel if you let go of that habit. How would your life alter if you started spending with intention solely on items that actually made you happy or had a purpose? It has offered a sense of serenity that I had no idea I needed. More freedom, clarity, and space to enjoy the things that are important. Giving up mindless buying has been one of the most liberating decisions I've ever made, and I wish I'd done it sooner. 3. Let go of stressing over small things. In my younger years, I used to let minor inconveniences throw me off balance. Whether it was traffic jams, petty disagreements, or a last-minute change in plans, I would allow these minor irritations to fester inside me, gradually accumulating into a wave of tension that followed me everywhere. It was stressful to always be on edge about things that, in retrospect, didn't matter at all. This low-grade anxiety sapped my energy and deprived me of the pleasure that comes from simply being present. But when I turned 70, something changed within me. I started asking myself a simple but powerful question anytime I felt my stress level rising. Will this matter a year from now? The answer was nearly always a resounding no. And just like that, I began to let go of the minor details that had formerly overwhelmed me. It felt like a weight had been taken off my shoulders, one that I had been carrying for decades without realizing it. By letting go of what I couldn't control, I discovered a sense of calm and clarity that had been lost for so long. Traffic jams, they will pass. Arguments, most are not worth the effort. Appointments that don't go as expected, they will soon be forgotten. Focusing on what I can control and letting go of what I can't has helped me approach life with a more peaceful, grounded attitude. I've learned that life is full of flaws, uncertainties, and messy moments, which is okay. There is beauty in disorder, and accepting it has led to a deeper sense of calm than I could have imagined. Consider how different your life might be if you stopped worrying about things beyond your control. How much lighter would you feel if you let go of the minor anxieties that clog your mind? What is one minor issue that has been bugging you recently? Something that, in the broad scheme of things, is insignificant. Could you let go? Could removing that load bring greater calm into your day? Letting go of fussing over minor details has been nothing short of miraculous. It has given me the flexibility to focus on what is genuinely important, making my days much more joyful. Peace is not found in a life without troubles. Rather, it is found in how we deal with them. 4. Prioritizing self-care over pleasing others. For the majority of my life, I was caught in the cycle of continuously attempting to satisfy others, whether it was family, friends, or colleagues. Their needs were always prioritized. I proudly displayed my selflessness, believing that putting myself last made me a better person. But the truth is that it left me feeling depleted, exhausted, and alienated from myself. And I had given away so much of my energy that I had nothing left for myself. It wasn't until I was 70 that I realized something important. Self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary. In a culture where we are taught to prioritize everyone else, I had to unlearn the belief that taking care of myself meant ignoring others. It was a difficult transition to make, but it was also extremely liberating. I started small, carving out time for me in the mornings, whether it was meditating, taking a quiet walk in nature, or savoring a cup of tea while losing myself in a good book. I began to nurture my mind and spirit by practicing gratitude and speaking to myself with the same compassion I showed others. This renewed dedication to self-care transformed everything. It was like refilling a well that had long run empty. I discovered that when I met my own needs, I had a lot more energy, patience, and love to give to others. Instead of being resentful or fatigued, I was present, engaged, and able to contribute from a state of plenty rather than depletion. Have you ever found yourself continuously putting others first while ignoring your own needs? It's easy to believe that self-care is selfish, yet it's actually the most compassionate thing you can do. Imagine how much more you could give to those you care about if you prioritized your own well-being. What happens if you set aside time simply for yourself? What would your life be like if you made self-care a priority in your daily routine? Prioritizing self-care has had a profound impact on me. It has helped me be more present for myself and those I care about. It serves as a daily reminder that I am entitled to the same level of care, kindness, and attention that I freely provide to others. Self-care is not a luxury, it is a necessity. By embracing it, I've discovered a greater feeling of calm, balance, and joy in my life. 5. Saying no to overcommitments. For the majority of my life, I was the person who said yes to everything. Whether it was attending social gatherings, volunteering, or assisting friends and family with work, I was always willing to help everyone. I didn't want to disappoint anyone, so I packed my days, dashing from one commitment to the next. But the price was high. My peace and well-being were frequently compromised. I didn't have time to breathe, rest, or do anything for myself. I was fatigued both physically and emotionally, and I saw that saying yes all the time was exhausting me rather than making me happy. As I've gotten older, I've realized that saying no is one of the most powerful things I can do for myself. It's not about being selfish. It's about being careful of my time, energy, and overall well-being. Now I'm picky about what I commit to. I ask myself, is this consistent with my values? Does it bring me joy? If the answer is no, I will not hesitate to decline the invitation, request, or even the individual who is sucking my energy. And let me tell you, it's been one of the most liberating adjustments I've ever implemented. By saying no to things that don't benefit me, I've made room in my life for what is actually important. I no longer feel compelled to please everyone and instead concentrate on the commitments that bring me true happiness and fulfillment. There is a quiet strength in saying yes and protecting your time and energy. I've discovered more balance, calm, and time to cultivate the connections and activities that enrich my life. Do you ever struggle to say no? Do you find yourself overcommitting, even when it leaves you exhausted? Imagine how liberating it would be to choose only the obligations that actually benefit you. What is the one thing you've consented to that is draining your energy? How would it feel to say no the next time you receive an unwelcome request? Learning to say no has been a game changer for me. It has given me the gift of time to rest, reflect, and prioritize what is actually important. By letting go of the impulse to overcommit, I've returned my energy and discovered greater joy and fulfillment in the commitments I make. Saying no is not a rejection of others, it is an acceptance of oneself. 6. Ending unhealthy relationships. Relationships are the foundation of our lives, determining who we are and how we perceive the world. However, not all relationships are made equal. For years, I held onto relationships with people who did not respect me or brought negativity into my life out of a sense of duty or obligation. I felt driven to continue these interactions, whether with friends, colleagues, or family members, despite the fact that they left me depleted, nervous, and emotionally fatigued. I knew these relationships weren't good for me, yet I couldn't let go. I didn't want to disappoint anyone, and I dreaded being alone. But when I turned 70, something inside me changed. I got a wake-up call, a realization that life is too short to waste on individuals who do not inspire you. Spending time with people who do not bring you joy, tranquility, or happiness is not only exhausting but also harmful. Letting go of harmful relationships was difficult, and it came with feelings of guilt and discomfort. However, it was also one of the most liberating and vital things I had ever done for myself. I ended these relationships without malice or resentment. I opted to prioritize my own well-being. I focused on people who actually cared about me, supported me, and encouraged my development. I looked for partnerships that were supportive, enriching, and mutual. And what I discovered was nothing short of transformative. Letting go of unhealthy relationships made room for stronger, more meaningful ones. The weight of negativity lifted, and I felt a tremendous sense of tranquility that I had never experienced before. I was finally surrounded by individuals who made me feel important, respected, and loved. Is there somebody in your life who drains your energy? Perhaps you've been holding on to relationships that deep down you know aren't benefiting you. What if you concentrated on those who encourage you rather than those who discourage you? Consider how much lighter and happier you would feel if you chose to spend your time with people who bring joy into your life. Ending harmful relationships is not easy, but it is a significant act of self-love. It's not about cutting people off out of rage. It's about choosing to develop the ties that bring joy, love, and support into your life. Since making this change, my life has been filled with deeper, more meaningful connections, and I have never felt more at ease. Sometimes the best gift you can offer yourself is the freedom to leave behind what no longer serves you. 7. Putting my health first. For far too long, I put my health on the back burner, persuaded that there were always more essential things that needed my attention: work, family, and unending duties. It was simple to put my well-being aside, thinking myself I'd deal with it later. However, when I hit 70, I had a moment of reckoning. I realized I couldn't afford to disregard my health. Without it, even the most basic pleasures of life, like playing with my grandchildren, taking a walk in nature, or simply waking up without aches and pains, could slip through my fingers. It was hardly an overnight metamorphosis, but I began with modest, doable steps. I started walking every morning, not as a chore, but as an opportunity to reconnect with myself and the environment around me. I switched from processed foods to fresher, healthier alternatives, fueling my body in ways I hadn't before. Perhaps most importantly, I carved out time for stillness and introspection through meditation, which has greatly improved my mental and emotional wellness. Yet these little improvements were more than just about improving my physical health. They opened the door to clearer thinking, greater emotional balance, and an overall sense of well-being that I had previously neglected. There's a saying that health is wealth, and I now understand why. No amount of money, success, or achievement can compensate for the sense of waking up every day, feeling strong, capable, and mentally clear. And the best part, it's never too late to start, regardless of where you are in life. Even tiny steps towards greater health might have far-reaching consequences. How frequently do you find yourself putting your health last? What if you altered your focus for just a moment and prioritized your own well-being? Consider how even the smallest adjustment, such as a regular walk, a better dinner, or a few minutes of peaceful meditation, can improve your life. How might it affect how you feel, move, and perceive the world around you. Prioritizing my health has had a profound impact on me. It is not only about surviving longer, but also about living better. And if I can do it at 70, anyone can. So what one tiny action can you do today to improve your health? You might be surprised at how it affects your life. 8. Overcoming procrastination on personal goals. Time is a curious thing. When we're young, it appears to be boundless, yet before we realize it, years have passed. For most of my life, I fell into the trap of thinking there was always tomorrow or later to pursue my aspirations. I was preoccupied with the pressures of everyday life, constantly reminding myself that there would be time in the future to devote to myself, to the passions and objectives I had carefully hidden away. However, when I turned 70, I had a terrible realization, later is not certain, then that wake-up call compelled me to stop waiting for the elusive right moment and to begin acting on the dreams I had put off for far too long. I no longer wanted to be the person who looked back with regret, wondering what may have happened if I had only dared to act sooner. Whether it was learning a new skill, traveling to a destination I had always wanted to visit, or simply reading a book I had begun years ago, I committed to pursuing my own objectives with intention, commitment, and most importantly, joy. There's enormous power in declaring that the best moment is now. No more waiting, no more making excuses, no more putting off the things that actually meant to me. Along the way, I discovered something very magical. This transition rekindled my enthusiasm for life in ways I never expected. Every day feels full of meaning, excitement, and a newfound feeling of adventure. I'm no longer living in the someday attitude. I'm living in the present now, which feels amazing. Have you ever put your dreams on hold, promising yourself that you will get to them later? What's preventing you from taking the initial step today? Consider how your life might change if you stopped waiting for the ideal time and began chasing your personal goals right away. What is one dream that has been lingering in your mind? From experience, when you stop procrastinating on what is actually important to you, everything changes. You realize that it's not about having everything figured out or waiting for the stars to align. It's about taking action, no matter how tiny, and witnessing those small actions add up to something remarkable. The time is right, and I promise you that once you get started, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. So what is holding you back? Begin today and see your life alter. 9. Embracing change instead of fearing it. For a long time, change was my greatest dread. I feared the idea of anything changing or evolving in my life. I clung to what was known, even though I knew it wasn't helping me anymore. There's a certain comfort in the familiar, and I convinced myself that sticking in my comfort zone was the safest and easiest option. But as the years passed, particularly after I hit 70, I began to see things differently. I began to realize that change is unavoidable, whether we like it or not. More importantly, I realized that change is frequently the way to personal growth, regeneration, and the discovery of previously unknown aspects of ourselves. Instead of opposing change, I made the deliberate decision to welcome it with open arms, and what a profound adjustment it was. Whereas I formerly feared change, I now see it as a portal to new experiences, opportunities, and self-discovery. It's not always easy, but the effort is always worthwhile. Embracing change has given me a sense of freedom and adventure that I did not expect at this point. Each change large or small, has provided an opportunity to learn, evolve, and explore new possibilities. By embracing change, I've opened myself up to far more than I could have dreamed. I no longer cling to my past or what feels safe out of fear. Instead, I approach each shift with interest, wondering, what new experience will this bring? How can I grow through this? I've discovered that change has a way of reshaping us, often in ways we never imagined. It has brought me closer to my genuine self, while also instilling enthusiasm and renewal in my life. What if you stopped fearing change and instead saw it as an adventure? What if, rather than opposing life's inevitable changes, you embraced them with an open heart? Consider how your life could change if you stopped clinging to the past and instead welcomed the possibilities. Are there any changes you've been resisting due to fear? What would happen if you opted to confront them full on with interest rather than hesitation? This mental adjustment has had a transformative impact on my life. By embracing change rather than avoiding it, I've discovered new levels of happiness, growth, and freedom. So, what's preventing you from embracing change? Allow it to guide you, teach you, and most importantly, lead you to a life filled with new opportunities. The adventure awaits you. All you have to do is take the jump. 10. Embracing sleep as a cornerstone of health. Sleep is something we typically disregard when we're younger, believing we can get by with a few hours here and there, pushing ourselves to stay up late for work, socializing, or other distractions. I was no different. I used to forego slumber without thinking twice, operating on fumes because something else seemed more important. But as I've gotten older, I've realized how important sleep is for my overall well-being. Without appropriate rest, my body, mind, and spirit could not work optimally. Sleep, I've discovered, is not a luxury, it's a need. During those hours of sleep, our bodies mend, our minds reset, and our spirits regenerate. I don't take sleep for granted anymore. I've made it a cornerstone of my health, putting it ahead of late-night TV, staying up for another hour of work, and aimlessly browsing through my phone. I've built a nightly regimen that helps me relax and guarantees I get enough sleep. A warm cup of herbal tea, a good book, or some mild meditation, these tiny routines tell my body that it's time to unwind, let go of the day, and recharge. The contrast is profound. This change has been significant. Getting up feeling refreshed, energized, and clear-headed has been one of the most satisfying improvements I've made for myself. I'm no longer dragging through the day, attempting to function with little energy. Instead, I wake up feeling energized and ready to face the day. Sleep has revolutionized the way I live, and I cannot overstate its importance, not only for physical health, but also for mental clarity and emotional balance. Are you getting sufficient sleep? Think about that for a moment. How much better could you feel with a little more rest? How would your mood, energy, and productivity increase if you prioritized sleep? What modest modification can you make to your bedtime routine to help you get the sleep you deserve? For me, simply respecting sleep has had a life-changing impact. It has taught me to respect my body's requirements and the value of rest in leading a full, active life. Tonight, why not attempt to wind down a bit earlier? Turn off the electronics, establish a peaceful habit, and allow yourself to rest fully. Your body, mind, and spirit will appreciate you for this. 11. Let go of comparisons. most of us subconsciously compare ourselves to others. I spent so many years of my life quietly assessing my worth against others, comparing their accomplishments, appearances, and lives to mine. It was almost natural, as if finding affirmation depended solely on how I weighed up against others. Whether it was through career achievement, personal milestones, or even superficial factors such as physical beauty, I let the lives of others influence how I felt about myself. But when I reached 70, everything changed. I made a profound realization: comparison robs us of our joy. I realized that comparing myself to others would never result in happiness. Instead, it planted the seeds of self-doubt, envy, and dissatisfaction. I stopped looking for validation from others and began to focus on my own unique journey. Each of us follows a unique route, and there is no general definition of success or happiness. We all have our own timelines, struggles, and achievement. By letting go of the desire to compare, I discovered something far more essential than external validation: tranquility. A profound sense of contentment flooded over me as I learned to accept my life for what it is, rather than continuously wishing it were different or more like someone else's. The shift in thinking was nothing short of transformational. I felt lighter, freer, and more cheerful now that I wasn't burdened by the continual need to perform. I realized that the life I've lived is sufficient, more than adequate. It's mine, and it's wonderful in its own way. The energy I used to squander on comparing is now spent on enjoying the small, wonderful moments that give my life value. What if you stopped comparing yourself to others? Consider the joy, calm, and contentment you could have if you concentrated on your trip and the beauty of your individual path. How often do you compare your life to someone else's? What would happen if you changed your focus inward, choosing to enjoy who you are, the life you've created, and the journey you're on? Letting go of comparisons was one of the most liberating decisions I've made. It has enabled me to embrace my life, flaws and all, with a sense of pride and thankfulness that I had no idea I was capable of feeling. I stopped dreaming about someone else's life and began truly experiencing my own. So the next time you find yourself comparing, take a moment to pause and remind yourself that your journey is unique, just as it should be. You might discover that joy and fulfillment have been waiting for you all along. Living with intention. After 70, letting go of these 11 things was one of the most significant and transformational events of my life. Each stride away from old habits, ideas, and relationships that were no longer serving me allowed me to embrace a more intentional existence. It has given me clarity, tranquility, and a profound sense of freedom. For the first time in decades, I can concentrate on what actually matters: the people, interests, and memories that make my heart sing. Living with intention means making decisions that are consistent with my values, and investing my time and energy in ways that add meaning and purpose to each day. As I embark on this next chapter of my life, I feel a renewed sense of purpose, one rooted in the things that nourish my spirit. I no longer waste time on things that slow me down or drain me. Instead, I prefer to spend my days in ways that uplift me, with people who believe in me, and doing things that truly fulfill me. Life after 70 is not about slowing down. It is about living with greater attention, gratitude, and intention than ever before. If you're nearing or are already in your 70s, take time to consider what you may need to let go of in order to live more completely. Are there any behaviors, ideas, or relationships that are dragging you down? Your time is valuable. Don't squander it on things that no longer benefit you. Living with intention means selecting a life that provides you peace, joy, and purpose every day. It's never too late to embrace your own journey. Aging frequently conveys a narrative of decline, something to reject or fear. What if we reframed it as an opportunity? An opportunity to accept who we are, not who we were. Aging allows us to discard the extraneous and live a life that is true to our actual selves. It is not about becoming someone new, but about being a better version of yourself. Take a time to consider your journey. Are there any habits or commitments that no longer benefit you? Perhaps some relationships have become poisonous, or you are still holding on to worries that prevent you from living fully. The beauty of life after 70 is that you have the wisdom to make these decisions consciously. What would your dream day be like if you let go of everything that held you back? Consider living that day every day. Try blogging about one thing, large or small, that you could let go of to make room for greater joy and peace in your life. Creating a legacy of joy and peace. One of the most important blessings of aging is the legacy we leave behind, not only by what we do, but also by how we live. When we prioritize our well-being, accept change, and let go of what no longer serves us, we provide a good example for our loved ones. We show kids that life does not have to be flawless to be beautiful, and that it is never too late to make a positive difference. Consider the impact of living a life filled with intention, joy, and peace, not only for yourself, but also for the people around you. Your children, grandchildren, friends, and even your community will be inspired by your decisions, demonstrating the potential of human development at any age. What kind of legacy do you hope to leave behind? How would you like to be remembered? What is the one change you would make today? What's holding you back from living a more intentional life, staying connected and finding your community? Maintaining meaningful relationships becomes increasingly important as we age. It's easy to feel isolated, especially when life events such as retirement or health issues disturb our routines. However, finding your community can make all the difference. Whether through hobbies, volunteering, or simply spending time with friends, staying connected is an effective remedy for loneliness. Connect with others who share your interests and understand the special joys and challenges of this stage of life. Join a book club or a walking group or communicate online. These partnerships remind us that we are never completely alone. Have you thought about trying a new activity or group? Don't underestimate the power of a simple greeting or an invitation. It can lead to new connections and life-enriching experiences. Living with gratitude and purpose. Now, gratitude is at the center of all these transformations. As we age, it's natural to dwell on what we've lost or what has changed. However, by turning our focus to what we have, our health, relationships, and experiences, we can change the way we live each day. Gratitude is more than just expressing thank you. It is also about living it. It's about enjoying the sunlight, sipping your morning coffee, and finding joy in the little things. Imagine waking up every day grateful for the life you have, rather than wishing for the one you wish you had. How would that affect your outlook? Consider starting or ending your day with a gratitude diary. Write down 3 things you are grateful for, large or small. You may be amazed at how quickly your perspective alters, introducing unexpected beauty and excitement into your daily life. Looking forward to the next chapter. As you embark on the next chapter of your life, remember that it is a blank canvas, ready to be painted with your experiences, choices, and lessons learned over the years. This is your chance to reflect, reinvent yourself, and embark on a new chapter in your life. The beauty of reaching this stage is that the pressures of others' expectations begin to recede, giving you the freedom to live truly on your own terms. It's an opportunity to let go of old habits, relationships, or roles that no longer serve you and embrace what brings you joy, fulfillment, and serenity. Too frequently, aging is thought to be the end of life. But what if we viewed it as a new beginning? Life after 70 is a new beginning, full of opportunities for growth, discovery, and connection. Your past does not define you. Rather, it is how you choose to live each day moving forward. What will the next chapter look like for you? How can you make this the most significant and rewarding phase yet? As you turn the page, remember that you have the wisdom, freedom, and ability to construct your tale in a way that reflects who you are and what you've learned. The narrative is yours to craft, and the possibilities are endless. The power of intention, making your life a reflection of who you are. Living purposefully is approaching life with purpose, knowing that each decision you make can either bring you closer to or detract from your goals. It is about making deliberate decisions that reflect who you are now rather than who you were previously or what society expects of you. This could include creating clearer limits, slowing down, or simplifying key elements of your life. It may include rethinking what success means to you and acknowledging that your ideals now may differ from those 20, 30, or 40 years ago. Allow yourself to be authentic as you embark on this new phase. Let go of the impulse to conform to external expectations or previous versions of yourself. Concentrate instead on what seems good at this moment. What does living intentionally mean to you? Is it about fostering greater tranquility and making time for the interests or passions you've always wanted to pursue? It's about improving your connections with loved ones or learning something new. The benefit of living with the aim is that it is really individualized. There is no right or wrong way to accomplish it as long as it aligns with your principles. Every dawn brings a new opportunity to live consciously. Take a few seconds when you wake up to set your intentions for the day ahead. It doesn't have to be complicated. Something as basic as choosing to be kind to yourself or to spend time doing something you enjoy can set the tone for a productive day. Living purposefully entails exercising control over how you spend your time, energy, and focus. What do you intend to do tomorrow? How can you link your daily behaviors with the things that are most important to you? Honoring your journey. The courage to let go. Letting go is one of the most difficult yet freeing tasks we can undertake. It takes enormous fortitude to let go of the familiar, even when we know it is no longer useful to us. Whether it's an old habit, a toxic relationship, or a persistent sense of self-doubt, letting go is an act of self-care. It makes room for new, healthier things to take root. When we hold onto things out of fear or comfort, we limit our ability to experience life fully. As you begin this new chapter, consider the areas of your life in which you feel trapped. Are there any behaviors you've had for years that no longer fit with who you are today? Are there? Any relationships that drain your energy instead of nourishing your spirit? It may be time to let go of the need for perfection and the fear of change. Letting go does not imply leaving your history. Rather, it entails honoring your path by making a place for the future. When you let go of something that is holding you back, you open the door to new opportunities, growth, and deeper fulfillment. What happens if you dare to let go of things that are no longer useful to you? Could you discover greater serenity, joy, and freedom? Take a moment to think about one area of your life where you feel stuck. What one small thing could you let go of today to help you move forward more easily? Letting go may be difficult at first, but it's one of the most effective ways to honor the person you're becoming. Celebrate your progress. Recognizing the tiny victories. As we become older, it's tempting to become preoccupied with what's next, what's left to do, and what we still want to accomplish. However, it is also crucial to take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. Every small move you make towards living more consciously, letting go or accepting change, is a success worth celebrating. Too often we focus on the destination, forgetting that the trip is where life happens. Your life is determined not only by huge occurrences, but also by the modest, everyday decisions that form your path. Take the time to recognize your success, no matter how modest it may appear. Each decision to live with intention, each moment you choose calm over stress, and each relationship you cultivate demonstrates your resilience, progress, and dedication to living completely. When we continuously look ahead, it's easy to lose sight of our accomplishments. However, taking the time to enjoy these triumphs provides momentum and reminds us of our strength at the end of each day. Take a few moments to think about anything you did well. It does not have to be a monumental accomplishment. Sometimes the tiniest successes are the most significant. Maybe you set a boundary that honored your needs, or perhaps you made time for something that brings you joy. Whatever it is, be proud of the progress you are making. Celebrating your journey rather than just the end result is an effective strategy for staying present and moving forward with purpose. The best is still to come. Embracing the future with an open heart. As you consider the future, realize that life after 70 is full of possibilities. This chapter isn't about slowing down or settling. It's about accepting the freedom, knowledge, and experience that come with age. You've lived a full life, and now you can design your future based on everything you've learned along the way. The best is yet to come. Not because life will be perfect, but because you have the ability to live deliberately, with purpose and joy. Every day is a new beginning, an opportunity to approach life with curiosity, compassion, and an open heart. Consider what your life might be like if you saw each day as an opportunity to live more fully and truly. What if your best days are still ahead of you? What if each morning offered the opportunity for growth, connection, and new experiences? No matter where you are in your journey, you have the ability to shape your future. Every decision, action, and intention you make is a step closer to the life you want to live. Believe in the beauty of your one-of-a-kind journey and never give up hope that better days are ahead. You are the creator of your own story, and every day is an opportunity to write a new chapter filled with appreciation, purpose, and joy. So, as you move forward, embrace your future with an open heart and remember that the possibilities are limitless. As we near the end of our trip together, take time to reflect on everything we've talked about. What have you learned thus far? It's the value of living with a purpose, letting go of what no longer serves you, or appreciating the beauty of each new chapter in life. Whatever it is, we would love to hear from you. Comment below with one lesson you've learned and how you plan to apply it in your life. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment and remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.